Welcome to Daily English Room. Today's topic is family. Do you get along well with your family?
We have a peaceful relationship. Japanese families often prioritize harmony, so we try to be considerate of each other's feelings. Sometimes I wish we could be more open about disagreements, but I appreciate the stability of our relationship.
Do you have a large family?
My family is average-sized for Japan. I have one older brother who's married with a baby. I live by myself in Tokyo, while my parents and brother's family live in Kamakura. Sometimes I miss the noise and comfort of a full house.
Are you close to all of your family members?
I'm closest to my brother and parents. My relationship with extended family is more formal. We meet at family occasions and exchange New Year's cards. There's a cousin I went to university with who became a close friend, but that's an exception.
How often do you spend time with your family?
Since I moved to Tokyo for work, I don't see my family as often as I'd like. They live in Kamakura, but we video call every week. I try to visit them during major holidays like Obon and New Year. When I do visit, my mom always makes sure to cook all my favorite dishes.
How do you spend time with your family?
When I visit my family in Kamakura, we often go to local hot springs together. At home, we enjoy doing puzzles. We're currently working on a 2,000-piece one. My mom and I love visiting local cafes to try new desserts, while my dad and brother prefer watching baseball games together.
In what way is your family important to you?
My family provides a sense of stability in my often hectic life as a designer. They remind me of who I am beyond my career. When I doubt myself, I remember how my father always says, "Ganbatte," do your best, and it gives me courage. They also help me stay connected to Japanese traditions despite living in busy Tokyo.
When did you last have a family party?
Our last big family gathering was during Obon Festival in August. We all returned to my parents' home in Kamakura. We visited our ancestors' graves, had a barbecue in the garden, and watched fireworks together. My brother's little one wore a yukata for the first time. She looked so cute.
How your family influenced you?
My family's influence on me is like the subtle brushstrokes in a traditional Japanese painting, not immediately obvious, but essential to the overall picture. My father, being a salaryman, initially made me rebel against corporate culture, pushing me toward a creative career. Yet, his dedication to perfection influences my design work. I find myself obsessing over details just like he does. My mother's influence is in my time management. She ran our household like a well-oiled machine, and now I apply that same efficiency to my projects. Growing up, my brother and I shared a tiny room, which taught me minimalism. A principle that now defines my design aesthetic. Even my career choice was influenced by family dynamics. As the daughter in a traditional Japanese family, I felt pressure to conform to certain roles. This sparked my determination to forge my own path in graphic design, while still respecting our cultural values. It's a delicate balance, but it's made me who I am.
How has technology changed the way you communicate with your family?
Social media helps me feel connected to my family despite the distance. I follow my brother's baby's growth through the photos he posts, and my parents have gotten really good at using Line to send stickers and quick updates. Though sometimes I miss writing letters like we used to.
What is your special moment with your family?
When I was struggling with depression last year, I didn't tell my family. I didn't want to burden them. But during my birthday visit home, as I was about to leave, my brother quietly slipped an envelope into my bag. On the train, I opened it to find a hand-drawn manga he'd made, showing different memories of us growing up together. The last page said, "Whatever you're going through, remember, you're never alone." He had noticed I wasn't myself, and in this uniquely Japanese way of communicating difficult emotions, he reached out. I cried the whole way back to Tokyo, but for the first time in months, they were tears of relief. Sometimes the deepest love is shown in the most subtle ways.
In what ways do you think family dynamics have changed in your country over the past few decades?
Japan has seen a huge shift towards nuclear families. When my grandparents were young, 3 generations living together was normal. Now, many young people move to big cities for work, leaving their hometowns. There's also less pressure to marry early, though this can worry traditional parents who are eager for grandchildren.
How do you think social media affects family relationships in modern times?
It's a double-edged sword, really. Social media helps me stay updated with my cousins' lives, and we often comment on each other's posts. But during family gatherings, I notice everyone's often on their phones instead of talking. My grandmother actually implemented a "no phones at dinner" rule, which I think is great.
Should we rely heavily on our families, or is it better to try to be independent?
This question reflects a tension I feel every day as a modern Japanese woman. Our society emphasizes group harmony, and family ties are paramount, yet there's increasing pressure to be self-reliant. I've chosen a path that's somewhat unconventional, moving to Tokyo for my career in design, living alone, prioritizing my professional growth. However, I've learned that independence isn't about disconnecting from family, but about building a healthy interdependence. I make my own choices, but I also recognize that my ability to do so comes from the foundation my family provided. When I face a difficult decision, I still seek my parents' advice, not because I can't decide for myself, but because I respect their perspective. Perhaps true independence is having the wisdom to know when to rely on your family and when to rely on yourself.
That's all for today's daily English room conversation practice. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, like, leave a comment, and hit the subscribe button. See you next time.